Yo, so I'm going to give you a 3-day plan. Doesn't have It's not restricted to 3 days, but this is going to be sort of an example of some really hard map. I'm gonna assume that this is like entropy. I'm gonna assume this is like fractured worlds map 32, right? Stuff like that. So first day, I'm going to suggest that, well, at that point, I assume that you know the map, you know where all the kills and the secrets are, you know your route, and I suggest that you play it from start to finish that first day. That way, not only do you get a sense for the entire map and just how much you have to endure to get through it, but also just to help you not wander around, as funny as that sounds from David, but it'll hopefully mitigate some of the wandering around that might occur. Now, after you get through that, if you still have the energy, especially you want to really gauge yourself, because I'm gonna emphasize this a lot, that you do not want to over practice. But gauge yourself if you're in the mood, or if you're really concerned about a fight. Maybe you got stuck for a few minutes, you got stuck for like half an hour, maybe platforming. I suggest that you go back, maybe run through that. If you don't have the energy, don't. It's okay. There's another day for that. Now, the next day, day 2 now, I suggest if it's about like 20, maybe even 30 minutes or less than that, I say play through it from start to finish one more time. But, of course, you don't have to. If you find that you can't sit through the entire map, you're not going to be able to commit 100% to it. So it's better to just not, and to just go and practice individual fights. Hopefully on day 1, you've created all your save slots. You called them balls of steel. You called this bruh. This fight sucks. All that good stuff. So you go ahead and hit those, and then that's it for today. Now I'm going to talk about the individual fights later and how to do that, but just going on with the 3-day plan here. Day 3, at this point I'm just going to assume even if it's like 15 minutes long, you do not want to sit through it all. Just pull up your saves of all the fights and platforming that you're concerned about, hit those, play them over and over until you beat it once. And as long as it takes you maybe like 10 minutes. I mean, depending on the fight. Sometimes you get these huge fights, but overall I just go for one victory and then I'm done. You can go ahead and start attempts that day if you still got the energy for it, but what I suggest is just you gotta gauge yourself. But yeah, next up I'm gonna go to the individual fights and tell you how I like to do those. In making this video, I realized that I actually approach short fights versus long fights slightly differently. When it comes to short fights, what I do is I play the entire fight from start to finish, no saves, and I want to play it over and over until I win it once. Oh, but wait, what if it's an hour in and I want to get it 3 times in a row? That way I can be fully consistent. But the truth is, you really just can't expect this from yourself, because the fights are a lot of times very input heavy and have a lot of variation in the fights. So I noticed this a lot with 20xc7. There was just no way I was going to get to a point where I could pull up all the fights, beat them like 3-4 times in a row like that. So that's why what I try to do instead is to get the last impression in my brain of the fight to be a victory. What I'm trying to do is get myself that muscle memory, because I already know how the fight works from learning it the first couple of days. Now just trying to make sure that I keep those connections in my brain, and then go into attempts after I win it once. So that's the truth about consistency, is just because your favorite player might have beaten the demo after the first time he got to the hard end fight does not mean he can pull it up and just beat it whenever he wants and beat it over and over. Yo, so I consider Dimensions Map 32's ending here to be a long fight. So usually from playing it enough, you can hopefully decipher, oh no, not the invis. You can hopefully decipher what, like, these 2 different, basically like different skills, really different parts of the fight, where maybe you started off trying to take control versus doing cleanup. maybe a fight like this where something completely different happens, where the arch vials get released and you got the invuln section to do. So I suggest that when you're doing your practice, if you still kind of have trouble signal segmenting the fight, there's nothing wrong with pulling up a save, maybe putting a save right when you're going for the invuln, something like that, for example. And I like that because I don't want this to get too repetitive, because it's going to get to a point where I'm trying to practice and get good at this fight, but all I'm doing is running around the place trying to shoot at these cybers on the outside, and there's not much skill in that other than infighting rockets and crap. But yeah, oh, and that fire too. Yeah, hopefully you see my point there. And yeah, so especially past like past day 1, I say don't try to take the Revenant fight to the end as one chunk saveless. I don't think there's any circumstance really to do that. I'd say it's better to just practice individually. When you're studying for the SAT, do you take the whole SAT every day, or do you just practice individual subjects? So, alright, it's coming up on Archvile time now, I believe. It's the next round, so I'm gonna go ahead and drop a save. I don't know. Bruh. Here's a good one. Bruh. Yep, here they come, holy. I do not want to take that mega right there, because I need it for later. Alright, start working on our J shape. Yeah, well, see why? Now let's say that just happened and I start all the way from back here. I'm just practicing. I need to get my skills up in the individual sections, so that's why I have that opinion there. Okay. I'm seeing my mistake now. I just made it twice, so hopefully we can correct that. Yep, that's what this mega is for. Alright, and now we get the run for the Arch Vials. Or not the Arch Vials, the Megasphere. Yeah, great Cyber Demon place, by the way. Well, oh well, we got to the Mega, and now we're playing the rest of the fight. And it's a little tedious to watch. I understand the rest of this, so yeah. Hopefully that made sense on how to practice the long fights. And now I have a bit of a word about the rewind key. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is A1s, and I'm addicted to the rewind button. So, let's take a fight like this one here, right? And something that the rewind button was doing to me, look at that. So I got hit. Well, I can just really quick go back. Oh no, I got hit again. Really quick, just go back, and what it was doing, it was giving me just this easy out for my mistakes, you know. And so now, just anytime I get hit, I could totally just press this undo button and fix it. Now the problem there is you're not even reacting to what's going on in the game. What you're reacting to is stuff you already know, just rewinding from your state like that. And the growth that you're going to gain practicing is completely different doing that versus when you do the entire fight in a single segment. Now, I consider this a long fight because there's like, I don't know, I don't know how many cyber groups in this fight, so I probably wouldn't run through the entire thing at once, like too many times. But oh yeah, I guess I woke up another one. But yeah, so between each group I would save, because I want to get the part where I'm actually dodging them. I want to understand that and get that down, and the part where I got to get behind them, try not to wake up the other guys. I want to get all of that down. So yeah, hopefully that makes sense. But rewinding in between each, I think that's a bit much. Now, I'm not telling everybody how to play their game. You know, not everybody that plays Doom needs to stick by these strict rules. But if you're practicing for a max, or you're playing a WOD casually so you can get better, I don't think that the rewind is going to help you there. I found no way of doing it responsibly, to be honest with you. What if it all goes to crap? What if all of a sudden you start dying 20, 30 times in a row to the fight that you're concerned about? It's 55 minutes in. How are you supposed to get this demo if you're dying to the fight over and over? You can't even beat the fight. How are you supposed to do it under pressure? Well, here's the thing. You gotta, first of all, it's time to watch your mental state. As soon as you start to get those thoughts that you can't, maybe you're not good enough, you can't get this demo because you're dying and dying, it's time to take a break. You can beat that fight, and you can max that map that you're trying to do. But right now, you're going through what my friends like to call a mental block. And so you gotta get up, get some water, maybe play some other things. Maybe that's enough for today. Maybe you're just having an off day. You need to get your mind off it and start doing something else so you can feel a little bit better. And try a different day. Don't underestimate the power of coming back with a fresh mind to a fight and playing it and beating it. I can tell you that Entropy right here, the fight that we're looking at, I spent 3 hours trying to get this on the first day that I played the map. Then the next day it took me about 45 minutes to get, and nowadays I'm probably 1 in 3 at it or so. So hopefully that inspires you. And yo, this is gonna sound a little crazy, but the best way to practice for a demo is to get an exit. So back then, me and Caligon were grinding Dimensions Map 1 for hours and hours, not Map 2, to get a sub 8. And he got the first one. It was pretty cool. And after that, as the competition went on, he was able to start getting multiple sub 8s in one stream within a few hours. And apparently so was I. On the day I got to 734 here, I got 1, 2, 3 other sub 8s that morning. And the day before, I was able to get 3 of them. So pretty much, as soon as each of us got our sub 8, it became easier to get other sub 8s. And this phenomenon also shown here by our favorite beverage. So his first time beating Dimensions Map 3 took him 2,000 attempts plus. Now he told me, from what he says, it seems like it's a lot more than this, but I don't know, maybe he's just trying to make me feel better about 5,000. But whatever it is, thousands of attempts, it's a hell of a lot more than 244 and then 150. So yeah, and another example here, we got our favorite Pumpkin Man over here. So 3 attempts to beat Map 6, didn't die to the Rev fight at all. 2 attempts on Map 4, 4 attempts on Map 5. That's, in my opinion, now of course he's got really good practicing habits. And one of the things that he does is he does saveless runs during practice. And in my opinion, that is one way that he's able to lower his attempt counts. Especially, I mean, besides the soft lock, only dying 8 times in map 9 is pretty good. So yeah, hopefully that makes sense. And I know it's obviously not practical for your first exit, because that doesn't make any sense, but it's just something I wanted to throw in there, wanted to mention it. And go ahead and hit up the homie Meowgi TV. He shows how to SR50, and he's got this cool practice hub map. Try it out. It's got rocket jumps, platforming, 2-shotting cybers, glides. It's good stuff. So Hopefully you check it out. I'll link it in the description. Hope you enjoyed. Till next time. Peace.